morning and welcome to Outdoors with the Duck Dudes, Roscoe and Roy, right here, right now on Fox Sports Radio 92.7. Well, today we've got another great guest. We've got Kelly Reid. Thanks for being on the show, Kelly.
Thanks for having me, Roy.
I met Kelly earlier this summer at South Arkansas Hunting Retriever Trials in El Dorado. He was down there. I don't know how many dogs you have down there.
I just had my one dog.
Had one dog down there. I was down there with Tim Rainwater of Full Limit Customs. Come to find out that you know my crazy cousin Mark Robinson.
Yeah.
And it's a small world.
It is.
And then now you work out at the Fire Academy with my wife.
Sure do. I'm now an instructor out there at the Arkansas Fire Academy.
You like it?
I do.
How long you been firefighting?
Been in the fire service for 10 years. Been an adjunct instructor with the Fire Academy for 9 of those 10 years. And just took a full-time position as a full-time instructor with them. Just this in October.
Hadn't been long. I remember her coming home telling me you also make duck calls.
I do. As a matter of fact, I made your wife a duck call. Said something about she needed a pink duck call, and she jumped all over the idea. So I turned her a pink ivory is the name of the wood. Turned her a pink barrel and put a poly insert in it.
Yeah, I've got her tooting on it. So
Good.
She sounds like a sick duck. We're going to graduate. I've just got her quacking. That's all we're doing.
That'll work. That's where it starts. That's it.
So you're also a guide for Delta Resort and Spa.
I am. Delta Resort and Spa is a fairly new duck hunting place, guide service, where the address is actually in Tiller, Arkansas, but we're about 6 miles up Highway 1, north of McGee. If you know anything about the McGee area, you've got the UAM College of Technology and the McGee High School, and if you'll just stay north on Highway 1 there, you'll run into us up there on 43 Canal.
How long have they been in business?
Been actually offering guided hunts this is our 5th season.
5th season.
Yes. The man that bought the place bought it and started building structures on the property about 7 to 8 years ago.
Okay.
So,
they also have done something pretty cool. They had something to do with the Olympics.
We did. Not only do we do guided duck hunts, but we have a state-of-the-art clay shooting range. And me and my buddies in high school, we always went and shot skeet.
Right.
Let's go shoot skeet. Well, in my mind, that was the little orange clays that fly out of the machine and you shoot them.
Yeah.
Well, since I've been guiding here, I have learned that skeet is a game all to itself. You make a half moon between two houses, and you have two machines that throw clays across in front of you. You also have 5-stand. You have sporting clays. You have trap. All these different games that you can play with these skeet. Me personally, being a duck hunter, being a waterfowler, dove hunting, I like 5-stand and sporting clays because you never know where the clay's coming from, and it can be coming at multiple angles, at multiple speeds, and you have to adapt and make the shot.
So it's not repetitious like us out there in the yard shooting the same old thing.
That's exactly right.
You got them coming from all directions so you can hone your shotgunning skills.
That's exactly right. And there at Delta, we can provide any of the clay shooting games that you want to play at a very reasonable cost. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's about $15 for a round of 25. Some of the other games take up to 50 rounds to complete the event, so it would be closer to $30 for those games. So,
do they have somebody there if you're not even a novice? Just say you don't know much about it. Do they have an instructor?
We do. We have 2 instructors on site, and then we have Mr. Dan Carlisle is on staff there. He does shooting clinics. We would have to get in touch with Delta. Like I said, I'm just the guide there.
Yeah.
But Mr. Dan Carlisle has got a long list of credentials. 13-time what is it? It's not Olympic medalist, but World Games or something like that.
Yeah.
He has instructed many Olympic medalists. And
so he can get
like
you
that.
started. He can get you started on the right track.
That's exactly right. I have seen Mr. Dan stand behind people, take his left hand and reach and grab the front forearm of the gun, pull for the clay, call for the clay to come out, push the shotgun barrel and tell the shooter when to pull the trigger, and then break the clay. And he will tell them, that's your sight picture you need to see. And, he can break them from standing behind people. So he is very, very good.
That's what you need to start out with, somebody like that.
That's exactly right.
Break all your bad habits before you start.
That's it. And he breaks it down to stance, mounting the shotgun, follow through, identifying the target, advancing on the target, and then squeezing the trigger and following through at the end of it. And he goes from the ground up, basically starting with your feet working, coming all the way up through to the finish.
It's all form.
It is. It is.
And if all that works together, then poof, you'll see some smoke.
That's exactly right.
Well, how long have you been guiding duck hunts?
This is my third duck season with them.
Okay.
So, general manager called me a couple of years ago and asked me if I still duck hunted, and I said every time I get a chance. And he asked me if I wanted to help guide duck hunts, and I said I would love to. And fell in with them, and this year I'm their lead guide, and
that's good.
And we're having a big time with it. So got a lot of birds. We were actually able to get a little bit of water where other people are struggling this year. So we were able to pump a little bit and stay within our budget, and we had a little bit of water reserve in our reservoir, and so we've got some fields flooded, and now we've gotten a couple of rains, and we actually got some birds. So
and we're going to get a big rain Tuesday night.
That's right.
And we should have plenty of water.
That's right. And then it's supposed to turn off cold.
It's going to be nasty the week of Christmas.
Yep.
And it's going to be game on.
That's right. Perfect foul weather, isn't it?
Foul weather. You go get your foul weather gear on and get after them.
That's it.
So we're going to talk in the second segment how to get a hold of them and all that. But what does a day consist of when you book a hunt at Delta?
When you book a hunt at Delta, you'll come in sometime after 3 p.m. We'll help you unload your gear. We've got a locker room. You can store your waders, blind bags, shells, whatever you need to in your locker. You can lock it up if you bring your own lock. We've got a gun safe. We will lock your gun in the gun safe so it's protected there. We'll go over to 43 Bar and Grill, which is right next door. It's our restaurant and bar there on the property. We'll eat supper, sit and visit. We've got 130 Holiday Inn style hotel rooms.
Wow.
And you will stay in the hotel room. You will meet me back at the duck, we call it the duck house, the locker room. You meet me at the duck house at about 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock, depending on where we're going and how many decoys we've got to put out and things like that. We'll meet at a specific time at the duck house. You'll go on a guided duck hunt with a professional guide and trained retriever. When we get done, we'll come back in, and you'll have either lunch or breakfast, depending on the time of day and what you prefer at that time. If we're a little later getting in that morning, we can fix lunch, or if we bang out in a hurry and make it back early, we can have sausage and biscuit and gravy.
And breakfast.
That's right. So, but when you get ready to leave, you'll leave with vacuum sealed breasts in a package with your label on it. It's got your license number. Everything's all legal and ready to take home and transport with you.
You'll be legal, and Mr. Green Jeans won't have any qualms with you.
That's exactly right.
Well, so it's a 5-star accommodation.
It is.
Well, we're coming up on a break,
okay.
And when we get back, we're gonna talk more about Delta and how to get a hold of them, their website, phone number, all that. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back with Outdoors with the Duck Dudes here on 92.7 Fox Sports. Welcome back to Outdoors with the Duck Dudes right here, right now on Fox Sports Radio 92.7 right here in Camden, Arkansas. We've got Kelly Reid here with Delta Resort and Spa. Last segment we talked about what all you do when you get there, what all a hunt entails. What else do they offer there at the resort?
Well, Roy, like we were talking about in the first segment, we have all kind of sporting clays, clay shooting stuff. We just finished a 1,000-yard rifle range. We're in the process of getting electronic targets put up to where you don't have to walk that 1,000 yards to see where you hit. You can just look at the screen beside you. That's still under development. There's plans for an indoor pistol range. So that's more shooting to come to the area there.
Awesome.
It will be. It will be. So, but, for the person that's not into the shooting sports and all that kind of stuff, again, we have the spa portion. We have a massage therapist that we can call and have massages done. Pedicure and manicurists, for the ladies.
Wow.
Guy wants to come on a duck hunt and bring the wife along, and she doesn't care anything about the mud and the feathers, then
she's been entertained.
She can be entertained as well. And those all would have to be scheduled.
Right.
We'd have to make sure we had somebody come in. We have the 43 Bar and Grill. Mm-hmm. It's open every Friday and Saturday night for supper, and then on Sunday for lunch. If we have duck hunting guests, we do cook for them any time of the week, but they're special. There are special guests at the place.
On Friday and Saturday night, anybody in the public can just come up there and eat like a restaurant.
That's correct. Yep, the 43 Bar and Grill is an open restaurant to anybody that wants to come. We have Great Rivers Hall. It's a 7,000 square foot meeting facility with all the bells and whistles for audio-visual aids, anything they need. We have it there. Company wants to come in and do a building exercise with the employees. Mm-hmm. They can sit down, have quick meetings, step out on the shooting range, come back in, have another quick meeting, do whatever they need to do. So we provide that for them. And again, like I said in the first segment, we have 130 Holiday Inn style hotel rooms. We're seated on the what's it called? The Arkansas Historic Highways, the Great River Byways, or something like that. Right. I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it's on the Arkansas Mississippi River there, mm-hmm. and we're right next door to the historic Arkansas City.
So there's other things to do.
There's a lot of things to do. People want to take a road trip in the summertime or in the spring or in the fall or something, and they mm-hmm. don't have any hunting interest. We have our hotels there that you can stay in and travel up and down the historic byways.
So y'all are open to stay year round.
Year round, that's right.
And there's a lot of fishing to do around there too.
It is. There's a lot of fishing to do. You've got a lot of game and fish property, Kate Adams, mm-hmm. and places like that right there, real close. The guy that built this property, he is a visionary. Mm-hmm. And he saw way into the future when he started building this piece of property. He got wind of this interstate coming through called I-69.
That's right.
He built this hotel and restaurant with the premise that that'll be the first place you see to stop at when you cross the Mississippi River into the state of Arkansas.
So the bridge is going to be right there.
So it's going to be right there real close. Sure he is.
Smart guy.
So he is.
So we talked about the trap, and we mm-hmm. talked about it's a great place to stay. And just if you're not even interested in hunting, there's all kind of historical things that you can look at. You can even ride around when the crops are being harvested.
That's right.
My kids like to do that and mm-hmm. just ride around and look at the big tractors and see the colors.
The planting season and the harvest season, especially harvest season. Those tractors and combines and stuff are running day and night.
Mm-hmm. Around the clock.
They are. They're trying to get the crop in
mm-hmm.
and working hard at it. And I'm glad they do, because this cotton and all that we wear is nice.
And that's the reason it's the duck capital. It's because mm-hmm. they got groceries up there for the ducks.
That's exactly right. A lot of rice and corn and soybeans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do y'all have any deer hunting opportunities there yet?
We do not.
We
don't provide any deer hunting opportunities.
Okay. We talked about how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in off of 65,
mm-hmm.
it's the exit. It's the Cotton Gin right there, but I can't think what the name of it is.
It's Highway 1.
Highway 1.
Yep, it's the exit. If you're familiar or if you're just traveling, when you come into McGee, it's the big viaduct that goes up and over Highway 1. You'll exit off and turn north on Highway 1, and you can't miss us from there.
Right there by the band fields.
That's right.
So I'm telling y'all, I've hunted at the band fields, had several opportunities there. There are ducks there.
It is. You know, you bring up the place where we're located. We are in the waterfowl superhighway. You've got, just north of us, you've got the Arkansas River, the White River, and the Mississippi River intersection, where they all come together. That's just a few miles north of our property. For people that do know Banfields, we are the southern half of Banfields.
Okay.
When the man bought the property, he actually bought some of the old Banfields farm, the old Banfield family. So, you know, we are located between Banfields, and there are a couple other entities that own some other blocks right there around us. But you've got Banfields on one side, and then on the other side, it used to be the old War Eagle property, and now it's called North Glory.
Okay.
And you have Green Cypress.
The Ward brothers had.
The Ward brothers used to have that.
I hunted there in Tiller.
So you've got those two separate green tree reservoirs. And one of the things that I was told was these properties are the largest privately owned green timber reservoirs in the state of Arkansas.
Wow, that is impressive.
It is. You know, non-game and fish owned. So they can control the water like they want to. They can feed after the season. They can, you know, they can fix it.
They can imprint the ducks.
They can do that, and they can fix it to where they have, you know, they have the ducks, and we're housed right between the two.
So they're coming.
They're coming.
They're going to use the Mississippi River to get out here from Canada, use it as an interstate, and come to McDonald's there and eat their groceries.
That's exactly right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why the ducks are coming here, is to eat, and they're going to eat and get as much protein, whether it be some sort of agriculture or the microorganisms that they eat. So,
That's it.
So they pair up. They start pairing up in the late season, and then they get their protein, they get the energy to fly back.
That's it.
It's a pretty cool thing, the migration is.
It is. It is.
So, y'all been having a pretty good season so far?
We have. You know, it's been hit or miss, like in other places. You know, the warm weather has
Put a hindrance to it.
Put a hindrance to us. The dry weather has hurt us a little bit also. But things have really picked up in the last 2 weeks for us.
That's good.
We've got a good cold snap. We got some fresh ducks in about a week ago, and really had some good hunts here in the last couple of days.
Well, it's going to pick up. We're supposed to get a lot of nasty weather. Christmas is supposed to snow, so maybe 100 miles north and on 4 behind them, and it'll freeze up, and they'll just all come here.
That's it. That McDonald's you're talking about, when they get ice on the drive-through, they got to come on south.
They got to come on down and get them a Big Mac.
That's it.
Or Happy Meal.
Yep.
I know you've got a dog.
I do.
And we're going to touch on this because that's what we're going to talk about next segment. What's your dog's name?
My dog is Josie.
Josie.
Josie will be 2 years old January 1st.
How did you do at the trials down there?
She passed both of her tests, one on Saturday, one on Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to go to a break. We got to pay some bills. Y'all stay tuned. More with Kelly Reid from Delta Resort and Spa on Fox Sports Radio 92.7. Welcome back to Outdoors with the Duck Dudes. Roscoe and Roy right here, right now on Fox Sports Radio 92.7. Well, I've got Kelly Reid here of Delta Resort and Spa. Tell us, if we got somebody that wants to get a lab and they would like to start training their dog, what's a good way to pick out a puppy?
Go to where you're going to get your dog and look at the litter. You don't want the little meek shy one, and you don't want the bull-headed take control dog either. Pick that one in the middle. Interact with all the dogs. The one that comes to you and kind of migrates to you, you're usually going to have a pretty good bond with. Just a natural bond. And that dog will become your best friend.
Well, that's the same advice that I give. The last dog I had, Rudy, I had him for 14 years, and a friend of mine at work raised purebred labs, and I just sat down on the floor, and the one that played with me the most is the one I took home. And I had that in my mind when I went there, and it works out great.
It does. It does. My dog that I got, it was a really good luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm.
I had fourth pick of the litter in females, and there was 4 females. And luckily, the first pick wanted the largest female.
Okay.
The second pick wanted the lightest colored female. These were all yellow dogs.
Yeah.
Third pick did not care what they wanted, so it came down to fourth pick. And so I got my pick out of the last 2, basically, and my dog has become a phenomenon for me. I love her to death. She has done everything I've asked her to do.
I totally understand that. I lost my dog, Rudy, and I didn't want another dog.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody came up to me when my sister had a baby, and they train dogs, and they're like, "We got a dog that needs a good home." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
Then they showed me a video, and I got the best dog that I could probably ever want. But we spend a lot of time together. And that's another thing.
That is a big thing with dogs, is time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your dog has to become your best friend. I know a lot of people that get a dog and they send it to a trainer, and they'll go back and get it for duck season, send it back to the trainer, and
They think the trainer's their master.
That's right. That's right. And I have seen it way too many times where the owner will be standing in the yard with the dog fixing to take it home for duck season and tell the dog to heel, and it'll run over there to the trainer and heel beside him.
Yep.
So
You got to train with your dog.
that's exactly right. Spend time with them.
I mean, if you go fishing, I take my dog with me. If
Yep.
I get in a ranger and we're going to go cut firewood, my dog goes with me.
That's it.
And it gets to be like a kid. I can look at snacks. I mean, I can give her a mean look, and she knows what she's doing.
That's it.
But that's just because we spent a ton of time together.
That's it. You know, they learn to read your body language.
Mhm.
My dog, I can sit her down, make her stay, walk off 100 yards from her, take one step back, pull my left hand to my side, and she's going to run wide open till she gets to my left heel and sit down.
She knows that's what
She
you expect
knows
her to do.
that's it. You know, working in the fields with her, you know, I can look at her and just give her a vibration on the collar and make her stop long enough to look at me, and I can give her a hand signal, and she'll sit or she'll lay down in the field. We can finish working ducks and
Yep.
then call her back to me when I need to. You know, so
You got a handle on it.
that's exactly right.
That obedience is the first thing you have to have with a dog.
That is step one with a dog.
You're the master, and they're not.
That's it. That's it. You know, Roy, we talk about that kind of stuff. Real quick, funny story. My wife was trying to put my lab in the kennel when she was just a puppy, and she was telling her, "Kennel, kennel," and I was sitting in a recliner, and I looked at my wife, and I said, "Tell the dog to kennel." And I said, "Don't ask the dog to do something. Tell the dog what you want it to do." And when I said it, she went and got in the kennel, and my wife was like, "You just frustrate me." So, but you know that's part of it. You know, not only is that dog your best friend, but it's, you know, you are also the master.
That's
the,
right.
The alpha male of the pack. So,
And that transfers. A lot of people may get upset about this and really don't care. Transfers over into how you raise your kids too.
oh, it does.
So
It does.
it's got a lot to do because they respect you. That's
That's
how
it.
you respect is earned, not given.
That's
and that's
exactly
how you
right.
get it.
Yep.
Just through being a leader
Mhm.
and a master with a dog.
So,
How did you get into dogs?
well, this dog that I've got now makes the 6th lab that I have owned and trained myself.
Mhm.
I've never professionally trained anybody else's dog. I've always wanted my own hunting dog.
Right.
Well, my last dog that I had already put a deposit down on this puppy, and 2 days before I went to get this puppy, my 6-year-old hung herself in her dog pen. So I had to, I went and got this dog. This is the first dog I've ever bought out of a kennel.
Yeah.
You know, all the rest of them were,
This guy had
this
dog.
guy
You
had a
knew they
lab
had a
and
hunting dog,
yeah.
whatever.
So, but I bought the dog, brought her home, and he stayed on me. He said, "Man, you need to run these hunt tests." And I never have been one for a dog with a bunch of ribbons or titles or anything like that.
You just want to go get ducks and do what you tell it.
That's all I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I've gotten into it, the more I've realized that now when my dog has puppies, I can say that the mother is hunting retriever champion or hunting retriever or grand hunting retriever champion, whatever it is, and I've got the paperwork to back it up.
And you hunt X number of days.
That's it. You know, as a 1-year-old dog last year, like I said, my dog her birthday is January 1st. She turned 1 last January 1st, middle of duck season. She picked up 125 birds for me last year.
That's impressive.
Yes. This year, as a 2-year-old dog, she's already at 55 birds for the season.
So if we have a good season, she'll be 300 plus.
That's right. So, and that helps a dog mature. The more birds you can kill over them, the more they figure out the game.
My old dog Rudy, we were hunting at radio.
Mm-hmm.
Got kind of slow, but we had a few ducks working. Don says, my buddy Don, he said, click your safety off your gun and watch Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
Click the safety off. He thought he was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the sky, looking around to see what's going on. And I'd hunted with him 10 years to that point and never knew he was.
That's it.
So they learn.
They do.
And the more you take them, the more they're going to learn.
That's it.
And what you want them to do.
Yep.
But if you're hunting fields,
mm-hmm.
don't get up one morning and take your dog to the woods if you have not trained for that scenario.
That's it. One of the duck dog greats,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chris Aiken.
Yep.
He says it in all of his stuff: crawl, walk, run.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is with dogs. You start off crawling, then you begin to walk with them, then you begin to run with them. If you're going to put them in a pit blind, take them there before the season opens.
And show them what
Introduce them to getting in and out of the pit. If you hunt out of a skid blind, if you hunt out of layout blinds, with dog hides.
They got to learn to get in
gotta
that
learn.
hide. If you hunt on a dog stand in a field in front of the blind, they got to
That's
learn
it.
to get on that, or in the blind. They got
That's
to know
it.
where their place is.
That's exactly
or
right.
a boat.
Yes. And obedience. Backing up to obedience. You've got to have that first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching your dog to sit, teaching your dog to come, teaching your dog to, sit at a distance. Like I said, I can stop my dog in the. Not only is that, a breaking dog is one of the most unsafe things you can have. And, I've had people tell me before, I don't mind my dog breaking because they get out in front where they can see where the birds are falling. Yeah, your dog's going to wind up getting shot accidentally.
Especially if you're hunting with people that
that's
don't
right.
know what's going on.
As a duck guide, we're hunting with people that we've never hunted before. They're not just our local buddies and high school friends and college roommates and stuff.
That know what the dog's going to do.
That's right. These are guys that are not used to being in duck blinds. And
Man never hunted with a dog.
Yep. So, you have to be in control of your dog to keep the dog safe and to make it just an enjoyable hunt.
And when the dog's in the water, what I usually do, especially if I'm hunting with some people that I've never been around, we have a safety talk.
Yes.
We talk about gun safety, and then we talk about, when I say the dog's in the water, there's no guns going off.
That's it. When the dog leaves the blind, leaves the hide, when the dog's in the water, nobody but the guide is allowed to shoot anywhere.
That's right. If the cripple needs to be took care of, he's going to handle it,
that's
not
exactly
anybody
right.
else.
So the customers, the friends, whoever they are, have done their job and they have knocked the birds down. Now let the guide or lead hunter or whoever it is and the dog work and do their job and get the birds back into the blind with you.
But the guys that hunt with me know what I'm fixing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, you shoot my dog, I'm going to shoot you.
Yep.
Do we understand? And then we have our safety meeting.
Yes.
And that's good to have a safety meeting.
It is.
Safety, even if you go with somebody you've been hunting with for 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
that's when accidents can happen.
That's
is
exactly
when
right.
you're not mindful
Yep.
of gun safety.
That's it.
Well, we're coming up on a break. We'll be right back with Outdoors with the Duck Dudes, Roscoe and Roy, Fox Sports Radio 92.7. And we're back to Outdoors with the Duck Dudes, Roscoe and Roy, here on Fox Sports Radio 92.7 in Camden, Arkansas. Well, we've got Kelly Reid here of Delta Resort and Spa, and the last segment we briefly touched on guiding. Kelly, if somebody thought they might want to start guiding, what would you tell them to do?
Start out, number one, with safety.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you understand safety to a T. Everything from learning guns, any kind of shotgun that you may encounter, you may have to help work on in the blind. But start out with safety and be a personable type person. Don't just be dry and irritated that you have to get up and take somebody. This may be the only time this individual ever gets to go duck hunting.
And you're going to be his first impression of what a hunter is.
That's right. So, every morning when we have to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock and go again.
Put your happy face on.
Put your happy face on.
Because you asked to do this.
That's exactly right. So you have to make it the best hunt that these guys have ever had. Because it may be the only hunt that they've ever had waterfowling.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, be excited, be, fired up, and keep your head on a swivel. Always know where gun barrels are. Remember your safety at all times, and just have a good time.
Because here's what a lot of people think. They think, man, I'm going to be a guide. I get to go hunting every day.
Mm-hmm.
Ding dong, you're wrong. You're not
Exactly.
a hunter anymore. You're a guide.
That's exactly right. It does not mean you get to go and just shoot a bunch of ducks.
Nope.
It means you have to take other people and introduce them to the world of duck hunting.
Help them shoot a lot of ducks.
That's exactly right.
Because if they don't, they're not happy.
That's right.
You're there to make them happy.
That's exactly right. So, taking people, that's one of the thrills of my job,
Mm-hmm.
is taking people that are not accustomed to the outdoors, want to try duck hunting because they saw some video somewhere and,
Mm-hmm.
saw a TV show and wanted to try duck hunting.
Or their friends
Or
duck
their
hunt.
friends duck hunting. They want to see what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Take them and introduce them to the outdoors to the safest way possible. One thing can turn, one little mishap can turn the funnest day of your life into the worst day of your life.
And you may never
So-
go back.
Exactly. Once you've rung that bell, you can't unring it.
No, you can't.
So, but, as a duck guide, just, learn the craft of your trade. Like we talked about earlier, I'm a firefighter, or I started my career as a firefighter. Now I'm an instructor with the fire service. As a duck guide, you have to learn it. Everything from what the ducks are doing, knowing how to call to the ducks when they're doing certain things, and especially being able to identify ducks.
That's very, very important.
That's
Even
very
if you're not a
important.
guide.
Yes.
You need. I have people all the time, and it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
They send me pictures. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, and then I tell them where to get a duck ID and learn it.
That's it. That's it. The Game and Fish puts out a lot of material
Yes, they
out
do.
there to help you with
Very good pictures.
identifications and things like that. Be able to identify your birds at 100 to 200 yards away, just by the way they flap their wings, by the noises they make, and learn how to identify your ducks. That way you can tell your customers, okay, we need to kill 2 more of these
To get the limit,
to get our limits.
not
So
4 more of these.
that's right. That's right. So, and being able to call the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And any waterfowler knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Just because that duck swung by close enough doesn't mean that
He's shootable.
he's shootable. Make that duck commit. Whenever that duck gets in range and commits to your decoys and your calling, you have the right then to kill that bird. So otherwise,
You're pass shooting.
That's right. You're just pass shooting, and you'll wind up crippling a lot of birds and hurting the population. We're not out to try to feed all of the coyotes and coons.
Mhm.
We like to eat these birds too. So
That's right.
make good ethical shots on these birds, and
You'll have a good day.
you'll have a good day.
How did you get started in it?
I was asked years ago to help a guy there in Monticello.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me if I'd like to help him take some customers hunting, and I just fell in love with it, and I enjoy spending time with people, meeting new people, and people of all walks of life, everything from multimillionaires to somebody whose kids pitched in and bought him a Christmas present.
Got him his dream hunt.
Got him a dream hunt together. Just being able to carry on conversation with people of all walks of life, up and down the spectrum.
And, meeting people, that's, you might look back and say, well, I met this guy and he's grumpy and blah, blah, blah. But just because that guy's in a bad mood don't mean you need to get in a bad mood. You need to treat him with courtesy.
That's exactly right. Like we're talking about, you meet people from all walks of life, and sometimes you run into that one that's just mean.
Just take the high road.
That's it. You've got to be the better person, and don't let them drag the whole day down.
Mm-hmm.
Keep talking it up and putting on your happy face and make it good for everybody else.
60-day duck season. How many days you go?
I usually, with my job, don't get but about 20 to 25.
20 to 25.
Yep. I hunt a lot of weekends, and I burn up as much vacation time as my wife will allow me to. So.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what makes her happy.
That's exactly right.
That's what I try to do. I try to make Miss Kay happy all during the year. That way I can tick her off duck season.
That's right.
And then Christmas, I know why Jesus was born during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
He was born to forgive us of our sins so we could go to heaven. But the other thing is so Christmas would fall during duck season and we could keep our wives happy.
That's it.
Well, you have been at Delta, you said, how long?
About 3 years.
About
now.
3 years.
Yep, this is my third duck season with them.
And you take your dog with you on every hunt.
I do.
That way you can have somebody to go get the ducks.
That's it.
If I wanted to get a hold of Delta,
Mm-hmm.
just say I think I'm going to buy somebody one for Christmas, what would I do? How would I get started on contacting them about a duck hunt?
Well, you can look us up on our website, deltaconferencecenters.com, or you can give us a phone call at 877-463-3582.
I call that number. I schedule my hunt. I'm from Coos Bay, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I fly in to, say, Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do they help me find how to get down there in a rental car? Will they pick me up at the airport? Do they offer anything like that?
We have gone to Little Rock to the airport before and picked people up.
Mm-hmm.
We can help you find rental cars if or you can
drive,
or you can do it to yourself. Do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our customers, what they'll do is they'll fly into Little Rock. They'll
Mm-hmm.
rent their own car, and they'll usually stop off at a really good waterfowl outdoor store somewhere along the way.
I think there's a really big box chain store. Well, it's not a chain store. It's the premier waterfowl outfitter.
That's it.
And they get geared up.
That's it. They usually stop in there and get at whatever stuff they couldn't fly with and come on down and have a good time with us.
Have you ever flew with a firearm?
Never have.
I've talked to several people I never have. They say it's really simple. You fill out the paperwork in advance, and you declare the weapon when you get there. And they say if you follow these simple rules, it's really easy to get your firearm there. Do you all have? If someone does not have a firearm, do they have firearms there that they can use?
We do. We have rental guns, is what we call them. It's $10 a day to rent the gun, and that's whether it's a duck hunting trip or if you're just there in the summertime and want to shoot a round of clays. You can rent one of our guns there, and we can still have a good time.
Ammo, do they need to bring their own ammo, or do y'all
You're
supply
more than
ammo?
welcome to bring ammo, but our sporting goods store has camouflage, insulation, boots, waders,
Whatever you need.
whatever you need. You can come in you tuxedo and
Show up.
and we can outfit you and take you hunting.
So if you forget something, you don't have to worry about it.
That's exactly right.
Let's plug y'all's information one more time, Kelly.
All right. Look us up at deltaconferencecenters.com or call us at 877-463-3582.
Phone number one more time.
All right. It's 877-463-3582.
I really appreciate you being on the show, man.
I appreciate y'all having us, Roy.
And I appreciate your time. Everybody go to their website. Check out Delta Resort and Spa. sounds like a great place to go lay some ducks in the shade. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Without y'all listening, we wouldn't have a show, and I'd love to thank all our great sponsors. Y'all make this possible. Everybody, hunt hard, hunt safe, lay 'em in the shade.